For those of you who don't remember, I did a figure review on Robocop the animated series. Well, the first animated series Robocop figure, the cap-firing Robocop. And I said that it was one of the better, if really fun, Robocop action figures to come out. And it's definitely one that holds a lot of nostalgia for me, because I had one as a kid. And I'm pretty sure the majority of you did. When Robocop the Series came out, and this was really at the tail end of the popularity of Robocop, they had some really cheap figures from Skyvision Entertainment and Toy Island. Most notably, everyone had the Robocop 3 with the talking or the little armor pieces or big guns or, you know, little changing station. You push the button and it made noise. And his visor lit up. You know, everyone had that, but not a lot of people had this one. And I had it as a kid, and I loved it. Except for one little detail. It just bothered me to no end. It's flawed. From 1994, from the short-lived Robocop the Series. This is Robocop with interchangeable armor and pistol. Now you might be saying that, hey Trans, I had this figure as a kid and I loved it. Well, good for you, if you can see past its flaws. This figure came out in 1994. It is actually not that bad of a sculpt. It's probably one of the more accurate Robocop figures that we would ever get. He comes into the package like this. He's got your standard 5 points of articulation. Well, actually, he's got 4 points. His head does not move. His head is molded in. It kind of sucks. Seems like the only figure that could have his head move was the original classic from 1988. So he can move his arms 360. And his elbows do bend at the shoulders. Same thing. He can move his legs up and down, and he can bend them at the knee. The sculpt itself is actually pretty accurate to the original movie and television series design. And I especially do like the little inner workings of Robocop, because after all, he's supposed to have interchangeable parts. But this is where I start to have problems with it. We have a really cool little face sculpt. He does have the little bullet wound right there. And we also have the really cool the little pike that he uses to interface with computers and kill people with. That's pretty cool. It's a telescoping pike. And I do love the paint job. It's a very nice little metallic blue and little gloss black. It's very nice. I really do like the paint job. However, that's where the similarities with this is where the positives end. And where I really start to be frustrated with. This frustrated me as a kid. The features don't work. You have a gimmick that doesn't work properly. Now let's say you want to go ahead and take this figure right here. And you want to... Okay, there's nothing wrong with that, alright? Okay. So now you have regular Robocop. You have his chest plate, and then you have his helmet. You can put the helmet on. And there you go. Helmet's a little oversized, but there you go. It's a pretty nice little representation. Gives a little pistol, which also looks very movie accurate. And now he's ready to, crush bad guys. But now let's say that you have him in pretend damage. So now you take this off. And take this off. And now you take the little damage portions. Really wicked cool damage, if I do say so myself. And you place it on. You can't place it on. It's not made of the same material as this, and you can't put it on. There's no way it's going to stay on. It's just going to fall right off. And here's why. This happened to me as a kid and happened to me as an adult. You kind of have like that little amnesia where you forget that, you know, you only remember the good toys that you had and you forget about all the crappy ones that you had. Because really, why delve on all the crappy toys that you had in your life? The pegs on this one, as you can see, this one is slightly longer than this one. So it won't go in. It won't stay in because one of the pegs is slightly longer. Not only that, when I tried forcing this in as a kid, it wouldn't stay on to begin with, and I ended up pounding on it to make it fit. And guess what happened? The little connector pieces right here, they broke off. So I pretty much had a ruined figure right then and there. This one, I just pressed it on. And these two connector slots, as you can see, they popped right off. The plastic is so cheap that the gimmick is not going to be properly utilized because it's flawed in design. So in order to get this, if I ever wanted to display this figure like this, I would have to put some Scotch tape on this and tape it up. I'm sorry. I should not have to do that with a figure. Someone in quality control should have noticed that this was not going to work and fix it. And for that, I can't recommend the figure. I cannot, because you can't have fun playing with an interchangeable armor piece figure if it doesn't work. If the gimmick isn't properly utilized, what's the point of having it? What's the point of releasing it? There is none. There is none. So, I'm not even going to recommend the figure. I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for it. I don't want anybody on this site watching these videos buying this figure. Unless you want to keep it him wearing this, keep him in the traditional Robocop, and just throwing these pieces away. That's the only thing I can recommend it for, because it does look like a very nice standard Robocop figure for a really, really cheap toy company. And it's no wonder that Toy Island's out of business. This is officially my stamp of approval, a figure of failure. I'm Trans801L, and I am signing off.